Since I suited up for my review of John Woo's The Killer, I think it's only fair I do the same for the new John Wick. Whoa.
3,
2,
1.
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum has some of the best action scenes ever put on film. It is the third entry in the John Wick franchise, which gets more popular and successful as it goes along, with the fourth one already on the horizon. Once again it was directed by Stahelski, who had a long career as a stuntman and stunt coordinator. He has also a long history with Keanu Reeves because he worked on all three Matrix movies. His first work as a director was John Wick in 2014. His second, John Wick Chapter 2, and his third, John Wick Chapter 3. Action and stunts is what he knows and what he excels at, and his beautiful and distinct combination of shootouts and close combat fights, also known as gunfu, is what we seek from these movies, and it's such a thrill to see such real craftsmanship unfold on screen. Not just CGI and rapid editing, but long fight choreographies shot and edited in a visceral way that lets you appreciate what's going on and at the same time lets you feel every punch and every shot with your whole body. The stunt work, cinematography, editing, but also the sound mixing, and on top of that an uncompromising brutality, all of it creates this pure cinematic experience and action adrenaline rush. What happens in the third film is so violent and so crazy that the audience I saw it with was constantly alternating between sitting there in awe and laughing and cheering out loudly because they simply couldn't believe what was happening. And so was I. The first 30 minutes or so are pretty much action cinema perfection. The film starts right where the last one left off. After John Wick has broken the rules of this secret society of assassins, he has only one more hour remaining until he's declared excommunicado and placed under a 14 million bounty. He's running through the streets of New York, the dawn of the new day is almost here, and the city is lit in all different colors. Wherever he's looking, someone is already waiting and preparing to kill him. Many films that are in that classic storytelling mode end with some kind of ticking clock element to increase the tension of the finale. In John Wick Chapter 3 we begin with a ticking clock and it's exciting. And it's also a rare occasion in the whole franchise where the idea that Wick is a human being who is made of flesh and blood like anyone else, who can be harmed or even die, where this idea is at least a possibility, because most of the time there's very little doubt that he's just killing everybody around him, no matter how ridiculous the odds. As a matter of fact, in the very first fight scene of the movie, he did indeed get injured pretty badly and has to seek a doctor, which makes up one of the best and most unique scenes of the whole film. This whole first act contains 3 action set pieces and all of them are incredible, especially the second one that takes place in an antique weapons store. It involves the best knife fights I've ever seen and also probably the most violent one. After all the movies I've seen in my life and all the video games I've played, I'm normally quite used to some really outrageous violence, but this one surprised even me. This movie goes places, and if you're into this kind of action, you will love it. Unfortunately, after that opening act, the film's actual story kicks in, or let's say the movie hit the brakes, at least a little bit. There's no doubt that the action throughout the film is incredible. There is a crazy motorcycle chase later on that's just breathtaking. But to be honest, all this mythology around the secret society of assassins, all their rules, or to put it more frankly, all their bureaucracy, it was never something that I found that exciting or even interesting. I mean, it definitely has a cool style to it and they put in work into their world building. A film like Mad Max Fury Road has all this crazy post-apocalyptic and also weirdly fetishized elements going for it, on top of the ridiculously epic muscle car monsters. And John Wick has its own outstanding elements. Of course there are all the elegant suits, the gun fetish, high-class establishments and so on, but there's also this really wacky idea of some kind of telephone operator's headquarters where all the assassins' businesses coming together and all of the ladies at that place are covered with tattoos. All elements of this world have flair and are visually attractive. From Angelica Houston's character's ballet assassin school to Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King. In general, this is an absolutely gorgeous looking film. The action is beautifully shot and so are all the locations. This is some of the most striking New York City images and I absolutely loved how the city was portrayed. No matter what time it is, there's always something going on. There are always people doing their business. Most of them in public, but also secret stuff in the underground, where we are with the protagonist. The movie sucks you into this world and it's a wild ride. But on the other hand, as much as I like to look at it, all of that slightly convoluted mythology was never able to really catch my honest interest. It's enough to motivate all the grandiose action, but it's not something that really gets me involved emotionally as well. It seems to be so much about rules that actual themes don't play much of a role. There's a camaraderie or even friendship with Ian McShane's character Winston, who is the manager of the Continental, which is like holy ground to this assassin society, but it's not really that deep. If you have seen my review for the second John Wick 2 years ago, you will know that I was actually very displeased with that film. Now in hindsight I think I had a very bad day and was just not in the mood for it and I need to revisit it someday, but I think the core of my criticism is still legit. Going back to the movie now, I would already know just how much mythology they drop on you in the second film. When I saw it, it was just too much for me and I thought the whole world was beyond believable and kind of annoying. Now with the third film out, I came to terms with it more and I think the world is so ludicrous that it's actually kind of refreshing. But at the same time, I don't think it's their stronghold at all and I wish there would be more of that simple but effective human element of a man who is out for personal reasons. Like losing his beloved dog after everything else had been taken away from him as well. I think the third film does a slightly better job when it comes to all the mythology than the second one, but I still find myself mostly waiting through those scenes until we get another incredible action scene. But I have to give them that they also injected some self-irony and humor into the film as well, which is nice. Another strong criticism I had with the second film was that the action became too monotonous. It was too much of the same and I wish there were more variations. This is something that the third film is doing better, I think. Each action scene has a certain new element to it. A close fight at a library, dozens of knives, horses, fighting dogs, motorcycles, heavily armored enemies, a shotgun that will make your ears explode in a cinema, or a super sophisticated high-class glass labyrinth. The film has a lot to show and if you're a fan of action, you simply can't miss to watch it on the biggest screen with the best sound system. And before I conclude, I should at least mention that Keanu Reeves is once again perfect in this role. He's saying so few full sentences, it's a delight. They are fully aware of Wick's larger-than-life persona and Keanu is the perfect choice for it. He is so badass and yet so handsome. He kills hundreds of people in the most violent way, and yet one can't help but love that guy. And I also think his adversaries in this one are more charismatic and bring more to the table than the ones in Chapter 2. Asia K. Dillon as the pain in the ass adjudicator, Mark Dacascos as the sushi chef / Wick fanboy / biggest troll Zero, all the two fighting machines Yajan Ruyan and Sesep Arif Rahman from the two The Raid movies. So, in general I'd say, die John Wick Filme haben wirklich nicht die spannendsten Geschichten oder größten Emotionen, aber sie haben die unglaublichsten, unfassbarsten und einfach geilsten Action-Szenen, die man sich vorstellen kann. I give John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.4, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And also tell me, what is your favorite entry in the John Wick franchise? You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for life to tell. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I guess I'm back.